Good morning, good morning. Today is day 8 of Vlogmas. What are pirate movies rated? I'm going to give you a second to think about it. What are pirate movies rated? Arr! Today we're going to do a ribbon trim tutu tutorial. And so if you've been rocking with me for a while, you have already seen a tutorial very similar, but now it's time to update it. This may be helpful for you. So if you didn't pick up the first time, you'll be able to catch it this time. But first, what you're going to need is some tulle. Now I buy the tulle on the bolt like this. I'll leave links in the description box to where you can buy tulle, and usually cost about $13 or so. When I order on Amazon. So I'll leave my Amazon links. There's some other places. There's one really popular place, but I have like a love-hate relationship with them because the tulle is really inexpensive, but it takes forever, and the tracking, like you never know when you're going to get it, is just, they get on my nerves, honestly. So Amazon is the way I've been going lately because I know when I'm going to get my tulle. So I have measurements on my website. If you visit my website, you can download, there's my website right here. I'm gonna put it right here. You can download the measurements, the measurement guide that I use when I'm making my ribbon trim tutus, and you can make it fuller or less full depending on your liking, but that's just like the standard of what I typically use. And you're gonna need elastic. For larger tutus, I like to use 1 inch. Some people only like to use 1 inch. But for the smaller tutus, like 6 youth and smaller, I kind of like to use this 1/2 inch elastic, and it just makes the tutu sit up differently for me. So just one of the two. Okay, you need 1/2 inch or you need 1 inch. These are the colors that my customer selected. So I'm gonna go with, let's do blue because I think you guys can see that. Pink. Let's go with pink. So this is how I cut my tulle. So I start at the end here, the 0 line, and then depending on the length of the tutu, this is a 12-month tutu. Oh, this is tiny. So I like to cut my tutu in strips. Some people do the whole bolt, but the reason why I do this there's a couple different reasons why I do it this way. I do it this way because it allows me to insert different colors. The other reason why I do it is because it allows me to count how many pieces I'm putting per size. I could just measure this out and know how many yards I use per size, and that would be fine, but this is the way I do it. Also, when you roll the tutu, I'm gonna mess this up now. When you roll it all the way out, like say I only needed this much, because yeah, that's about where I'm cutting the 13 inches. So this is the fold here. If I only needed 13 inches, then I have all this tulle, and now it's just loose. And is that wasted? Like, what do I do with it? I have to think about it. So this way, this is a better way for me so that I'm not wasting any tulle, if that makes sense to you. If that doesn't make sense to you, leave that in the comments. And if it does make sense to you, leave it in the comments so that I know for the next video, like if I need to break that part down, what I'm saying. So I'm going to show you guys what the next step is. Let's use the blue. I'm probably going to mix these ribbons up anyway, so they're not matching. Okay, so once you have your piece, can y'all see this? This is why I need the overhead camera, because trying to get this shot. Okay, so when you open it up, this is the strip that I cut. Remember? It was like this, going this way. Okay, it was like this. I'm going to turn it this way to show you. This was the fold. So I open it up, and now I have one long piece, right? You're going to fold that piece in half so that the two ends come together here. And while you're sewing, you're going to run your ribbon along here. And just using a straight stitch, I put it on the widest stitch because it sews faster. And then just sew right across here. When you're done, then you're going to put your stitch up here for your elastic. So if you choose 1/2 inch elastic, you're going to sew at the about the 3/4 inch mark, which would be right here. And if you use the 1 inch elastic, you're going to sew at the 1 1/4 mark. So I'm going to use the smaller elastic today, so I'm going to sew at the 3/4 inch mark. And my elastic will go through here and the ribbon goes through here. So I'll show you this process. It is very important that you seal the ends of the ribbon on either side. That's going to keep it from fraying. This is what happens if you don't do that. Like, that's going to happen for your customer. That's actually not even as bad as it could be. Sometimes it's worse than that. Of course, when I want it to fray, I can't get it to fray. And so that just seals it so that now that can't happen. Okay, so we're going to try this angle first. So I put my ribbon over here on this side, and I have this piece ready. And you want to have your scissors, oops, you want to have your scissors and your lighter handy. So you're ready to go. I'm going to move all the sequin out the way from the last project. It's probably going to come back. So here's where I have, I don't know if y'all can see this. This is where I have the 2 pieces coming together. Remember I said I was going to fold them over? So here's my fold on this side, and then here's the 2 pieces coming together. And I'm just going to line it up like this. So I've got straight stitch and the largest width. Make sure you back stitch so that you lock that seam in place. And let's go. So now you have your tool. You have this line. This is kind of messed up a little bit, but it's all good. So now we're going to go in and get ready. Okay, so to put the elastic in, I use these elastic pullers, and if you click the link in the description box of this video, you can find these. You can also use safety pins, and there's some other metal pullers, but these are the ones that I like. These are the ones that I like best. And then you're going to need elastic. Links in the description box for where I buy this in bulk also. So I'm going to cut my elastic for the length that I want for this, and I'm going to cut it a couple inches shorter. You want it to be a couple inches shorter than the actual waist of the child. And then you're just going to load this into your elastic puller like so. And you're ready to go. See, I like these because it's not moving. See? Now we're just going to take the first piece and start sliding the elastic in. I put a safety pin to hold it so that it doesn't fall out the other side. Okay, so when you're all done, your tutu should look like this. Oh, I got a string there. Stop playing in the background, please. Okay, so when you're all done, your tutu should look all fluffy and cute like this. And you're just going to take both ends. This is the end that had the puller on it, and of course this is where the safety pin just came off. And you're going to get your hot glue gun. This is how much mine is well loved. And you're going to put some glue there. You can also stitch here, but the hot glue gun works for me. Sometimes I stitch and sometimes I use hot glue. When they're larger tutus, I like to sew. But for this size, this is going to hold and hold forever and ever and ever and ever. And that is the end. You're just going to move everything around and you're good to go. Here's your fluffy tutu. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay, so